Hiya, this is a short instructional video from Mapit Solutions on how to set up your internet system that we've provided for you. So what I'm going to do is just take you through the basic setup, and then if you have any problems you can always give us a call, but with this video you should be able to do everything. Okay, so you should have been supplied with a router in a box that will look something like this. So when you get back to your home, take it out of the box like so, and all the pieces that should be in here are the dongle with the SIM card inside, the router and power supply and an Ethernet cable. Okay, pop that out of the way. So the first thing to do is to pop the aerials up like so and take the dongle. You'll notice there's a cap on the top of the dongle. If you slide the cap off the top, and then on the side of the router there is a slot for the dongle to go into. It will only go in one way, so you can't get it wrong. So you just pop that in the side, make sure it's nicely secured, and then pop it down. Next thing to do is to attach the power supply, which is very simple. Again, only goes in one way. There's a hole there. Pop the power supply in. Next to it there is an on-off button. This should be permanently depressed, so you won't need to touch this, it should be on. But if you do need to reboot at any time, simply press that in, it springs out, and then press it back in to switch on. You will also notice across the other side of the router that there is another little button. Now this is a factory reset button, so please do not push this button. This will completely factory reset the router and you won't be able to use the settings that we've already given you. So please don't touch that, but the on-off button is next to the power supply. Okay, so now you're all set up. All you need to do now is plug this into a main supply. You will get lights on the front of the router and then either a flashing green or blue light on the dongle. If it's anything other than flashing green or blue, please call the office because there's a problem. Okay, and that's your internet setup. Now your router should all be set up and receiving internet. For you to connect to it, there are two ways that you can do this. First way is via the Ethernet cable that will have been supplied. On the back of the router, you'll notice there are 5 ports. 4 of them are yellow ports and 1 is a blue. When you connect your Ethernet cable to connect to any device, please use one of the yellow ports. Do not use the blue port. The blue port will not work, it's an input. So once you've connected in there, then you connect that to your device, your laptop or IpTv box or whatever your device is. Okay, that's the first way. The second way is to connect wirelessly. So with your device, your laptop or your mobile phone, you're going to go into settings and Wi-Fi networks, and you will notice that Mapit Solutions should be the top one as it should be the strongest signal. Once you've entered that, once you've pressed on that, you will be asked to input a password. Some of our routers have the password with a label written on top. If there is no label written on top, the password will be underneath and it's called PIN. So if there's a label there, use that password. If not, then look on the bottom of the router and the password will be written on there. So you simply just enter that into your phone and press connect and you should connect. If you have any other problems, please call the office. When you've been issued with your equipment, some of you may have been issued with one of these. It's basically a microwave antenna and they are very good at picking up the signature when the signal gets low or if it's uneven. So I'll just show you how to quickly attach this to your dongle. So you'll have been issued with this equipment, so this is the dongle that you need. So the easiest way to do it is to pop the cap off, and then on the top is a little slidey screen. So you pop that off, and you'll notice inside there's the SIM card, and on the side there are 2 little flaps. So if you can flick those open with your nail, and they'll reveal 2 brass fittings. On the end of the antenna, you'll also see 2 little brass fittings. All you do is simply connect that into there and that into there. You can't put them in the wrong way as it makes no difference which way they're going. Okay, so once that is connected like that, pop the top cover back on and then as you did before, just pop the dongle back into the router. The antenna needs to be placed using the sucker, if possible, on a window or somewhere near a window. Probably best just to moisten that first and then stick it to a window. They are very good at sticking, so you shouldn't have any problems, and that should help with the reception for your router. So your internet is now set up, and some of you may have rented or bought IpTv from us as well. So in your box you should find this equipment. There's the Mag 250 box, a remote control, a power supply, a HDMI cable, and or a old AV lead. I'll talk you through how to set these two up in a little while, but first of all, the simple setup of the Mag box. So your internet is already up and running. You've got a flashing green or blue light on your dongle and lights across the front. The Ethernet cable, as I've mentioned, is put into the yellow port on the back of the router, and that's all set up. So first thing to do is you take your Mag box, and you'll notice on the back there are some connections. Everything goes into these connections, but there is only one of each, so you can't put it in the wrong one. So you take your Ethernet cable from your internet source and you simply pop it into the back of your router like so until it clicks. Okay. Next thing to do is to insert the HDMI lead, and again that only goes in one place, and it goes in there like that. Simply slides in until you feel it click. Okay, and then finally you attach the power lead, again only goes in one way, into its socket. Okay, and that is the setup that you will need. That's the setup, the only setup that you should see on the back of your Mag 250. So now you've got all the connections into the back of your Mag box. Now what you need to do is connect your Mag box to your TV. So the HDMI lead is plugged in to the HDMI port as so, and then on the back of your TV there will be a HDMI port. There's usually more than one, but there may just only be one. When you put the HDMI lead into the TV, please make a note of which port it is. As I say, there may be more than one, and if there is, please note which one it is, because you will need to know that later when you select the input from the TV. Okay, so this is the AV lead, and it goes into the AV port just next to the power socket there and goes in as so. You'll see on your TV that there are three coloured sockets, a yellow one, a red one and a white one. These sockets simply push onto that, and then this gives you AV output as opposed to HDMI output. Some slight reprogramming of the IpTv box will be needed, but we'll go through that shortly. Final thing that you should do, now your box is connected to your TV and connected to the internet, is put the power on, and this is what should happen. You should get the Infomere logo come up at the start and it should start loading. This process should take roughly 30 seconds to 40 seconds, and then it should boot up to the main screen. Okay, so this is the remote control that you'll be using to control your IpTv box. I'm going to show you on the screen shortly all the functions that you can go through and the things that you'll be using. So when you hear me refer to the OK button, I mean the big OK button in the middle. That does by far and away the most things, followed by the arrow keys all the way around. The I button, you will notice, is that one just at the bottom there, and the home button is got a little picture of a house on it there. The coloured keys are across the top. You will need those for recording and for deleting. And that is basically the remote control. So your IpTv is booted up, and this is the screen that you should always see when you switch your TV on. If you're an English viewer, you need to highlight the English section and press OK on the remote control. This will take you through to all the channels that are available on the English section. So to view a channel, you simply scroll down to whichever one you want and press the OK button. You notice you'll get a clip in the clip box of whatever's on that channel. If you want to see what else is on another channel, you simply scroll down and you will notice that the program listing underneath the clip changes to whatever's on that channel specifically. If you wanted to go ahead and go to that channel and watch that, you simply press the OK button again. You'll notice the play symbol moves down to that channel and you get a clip in the box of whatever's on that channel. To fill the screen with the picture and watch that, simply press the OK button again and it fills the screen. To get back to the menu, again, just press the OK button. Okay, so that is the basic menu for watching TV channels. As you see, you can just scroll down to whichever one you want. If you wanted an expanded view, a menu screen that is very useful is you press the little I button on the remote control and you see you get a menu screen that is very similar to Virgin and Sky. Again, scroll down to whichever program you want to watch and it's highlighted in yellow. You notice the red line down the screen, that is the actual time in real time, so you know where you are. Okay, if you want to scroll down and watch that, simply press the OK button. That will take you back to that menu, and then to fill the screen again, press the OK button. To get back to that menu, again, just press the OK button. The system has a 7-day catch-up and a 7-day record facility. You will notice next to the channel logos there is a little orange clock. If you see that next to a channel, that means that there is content available to be recorded or on 7-day catch-up. So to access that, down the right hand side of the screen you will see a little prompt. It says TV guide. Using your remote control, if you press the right hand arrow, it will take you into this menu. To record programs and to watch them on catch-up is both can be accessed from this same menu screen, and I'll show you how. You simply go back across to the date section. You see that date has been highlighted. To watch a program that's already aired, you simply go back to whichever day it was on, press the OK button. That will repopulate the screen next to it with all the programs that are available. You simply go back across, scroll down to whichever one you want, and press the OK button. That will then begin to play. The play and pause can be accessed as I showed you earlier. At the bottom you can pause and then replay and then stop. That will take you back to this menu. To get out of this when the program's finished or to choose another program, you simply press the house button or the left hand arrow key, which will take you back to that menu. To watch a program that you have recorded, you need to access it from the very first menu screen that you came to and scroll across until you come to recordings. If you press the OK button on your remote control, that will take you through to this menu screen where whatever's been recorded will be highlighted. To watch a program, simply scroll down to whichever one you want to watch and press the OK button. You will notice on the bottom right hand side of the screen there is something that says free on server. Problem shooting section. By far and away the two biggest problems that we have with the IpTv when setting it up is the source, not getting the correct source on the TV for the IpTv, and the internet not being established when the IpTv box is switched on. Okay, for a source issue, if you switch the TV on and you get anything other than the infamous boot up screen that you saw earlier, if you get any other picture, then you need to look on your TV remote control. Now all TV remote controls are different, so I've just got a couple of examples here just to show you. You're looking for something that says either TV, AV, input, and on this one it's a little picture of a TV screen with an arrow going in. This is the input button on your remote control. As I say, they are all different, so you need to look for something that looks similar on your own remote control. Press this, and then remember I said earlier to remember which HDMI port you put the HDMI lead into. So you press the source button, and then you'll get a list of all the different inputs for your TV. If you scroll down to whichever one you put the HDMI lead into, and then you should get the picture. You may have to reboot the box if you've selected the wrong input at first, so you go down to the correct HDMI input and then reboot the box by pulling the power lead out of the back and putting it back in, and then you should get the picture. If you do get any other problems, do call the office and we'll be happy to help. Okay, so the other problem, as I say, is if the IPTV box has been activated and there is no internet source. This can happen in one of 2 or 3 ways. If you activate the IPTV box before you activate the internet, if you say have it on one gang plug and you just switch everything on at the same time, what will happen, the box will immediately start looking for an internet source, but as the internet takes 30 or 40 seconds to establish, it may not find it straight away. If that's the case, you will get this error screen, which is the page loading error screen. In the top right hand corner, you can see that the in red it says internet not available, Ethernet not connected. Okay, this means that there is no internet source for the box. So check your internet source, make sure that's established. It may need a reboot, switch the router off, switch it back on. Then when you get this page on again, it should, as you see me now, I will connect the internet and you will see that immediately it will change from not available to available. It now says Ethernet enabled, and it will give us an IP address, and then it will say internet available. Once you have internet available enabled at the top, you can see that try again is highlighted on the screen. All you need to do is press the OK button on the remote control, and this will now go into the loading screen. Once the yellow bar reaches the end, you should have IPTV. Okay. So that basically is all the problems that you should encounter. Hopefully this has helped, and that is the end of the tutorial. Thank you for using Mapit Solutions. If you do have any more issues, please call the number on the screen. Thank you very much.